Greetings, brothers and sisters. So I got some news from my other channel, and yeah, yeah. I want to tell the story first, I guess, because it's part of it. Last night I was I just felt this great, I don't know, transmission from the Sahaj Marg system. Like I just felt something I haven't felt in a while because of all the shenanigans going on there. And I addressed this in a Journey series voiceover I did this morning. But I had this, really good experience last night. I was watching TV, and then I meditated this morning. I was up really early, 5 something. My wife had to leave early today, so it was like a different kind of a day. And I got up early. Usually I would try to go back to sleep, but I was eager to do this voiceover for my Journey series video. And so I was not really myself like when I usually wake up, a little tired, a little bit, feeling a little bit different because of a good meditation. And I looked at my email, and it said that I had a community guideline strike on my other channel. Now, what it appears to be, it's for medical misinformation. And it's happened to me a couple of times where I share a video clip that the YouTube algorithms or bots deem that it's everyone who shares that video clip gets a strike, right? So there's this guy from Taiwan, a doctor who was talking about news from Taiwan, and another doctor talking about Fauci and Fauci blocking autopsies. Now, either one of those clips could be flagged by YouTube. And hopefully the video will be put back up and reinstated, because I say to both of the clips that I cannot prove what they're saying is true. I don't know who these people are, and I can't, I don't know if what they're saying is the truth, right? I say this kind of thing all the time because I don't know. I post things, and I know that there's some issues with it on YouTube, but most of the stuff, it can't be proven scientifically. We all have our beliefs. We all, think we know stuff, but, I post things that at least the possibility of it being true is there. And before YouTube wouldn't even let that happen, but now they do. But now they've loosened up a little bit, and, in reality, I mean, there's no reason any of this stuff should get flagged because, again, there's all this stuff that's just been totally wrong from the official story, right? Which we all know. I mean, the whole COVID thing didn't play out at all like they said it was. Now, I don't know when when they're gonna decide. I wrote up a request or an appeal, and the last 3 times they've done this, they reversed it after they looked at it and they saw that I didn't do anything, because I don't. I don't say anything I don't make claims that are not provable, and, whatever. People ask me, like, how do you get away with it? Like, other people are getting banned. I'm like, well, are they saying what I'm saying, that I don't know? Like, I don't know, which is, I present information as a possibility, as a narrative. I mean, I do this pretty much with everything. But I don't claim to know things that I don't know. And, whatever. Try to prove things that aren't true or whatever. I do things lightly because I don't care. At the end of the day, I've made my decisions, personal decisions, and I don't care, right? Like it's going to run its course. But then I got a message from one of the Heartfulness practitioners who's, bummed about Dodgy and everything's going on. He wrote something up about things that are going on in another ashram. It's just like, I want to say heartbreaking because my heart isn't broken, but, just really a bummer, like a complete bummer. So I have to go back in and make another voiceover about that. I've been making a lot of stuff on my Journey series because things have gotten, it's it's gotten really raw, like just, BS stuff that's going on that's embarrassingly wrong, from Dodgy mostly, and, people around him. Just weak ass, boop, like just unbelievable. So I got to get into all that. But maybe by the end of the day, the channel will be reinstated. I may get a Hollywood celebrities dropping like flies up here today, or maybe I'll skip a day and go tomorrow. It's just, we'll see what happens, right? Who knows? Who knows? Everything's wide open at this point. So let's start here with Hilaria Baldwin. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Deadline years for Alec Baldwin in deadly movie set shooting. Got a bunch of stuff to get to, Jojo Magoo stuff. I mean, this is going to be maybe a longer video. I just told you why in the introduction and whatever. But prosecutors are scheduled to file involuntary manslaughter charges in connection with fatal shooting of cinematographer by Alec Baldwin. So it's coming. It's coming around the corner for Alec. And so I saw this. Hilaria Baldwin responds, "It's been emotional time for my family amid Russ charges." And this is a Witches Anonymous podcast. And it's called Hilaria. Hilaria. It's called Hilaria. It's Hilaria. I don't know. I'm somehow doing that with a French accent. But, you get the point. But here she is. Hilaria.
Is Anonymous with Hilaria Baldwin
and Michelle Campbell-Mason, an iHeartRadio podcast.
They got an Hilaria and a Mason.
It's Hilaria.
Oh, it's Hilaria? I would have thought it was the other one. She doesn't have because she also has a fake Spanish accent from Boston, right?
Hi, guys. It's been an emotional time for my family. And I do so want to express to you how grateful I am for your support and your kindness and your reason. Quite honestly, I think without it, we would crumble. So thank you so much for being.
Okay, so you're saying fan support, people you don't know, the ones that don't think you're a complete, fraud for hijacking and appropriating a culture and faking an accent. I mean, those people, whatever it is, those people, Alex fans, the few people that can tolerate him now and still believes he's a good guy. You're saying without them, you would crumble, right? Well, they're nothing, right? I mean, you don't have a personal relationship with them in any real way. These aren't real, authentic people with the ability to critically think. How could you be an Hilaria? How could you be an Hilaria Baldwin fan, right? Hilaria. It's Hilaria. I mean, Hillary. No, Hilaria. It's Hillary. Hilaria. How could you legitimately be a Hilaria fan? Hilaria. I mean, how could you be? Of this person. How could you look at this person and be a fan? Like, you could be compassionate. You could pity, I guess, which is, a low thing. You could do any number of things, but, how could you be her fan? Like, come on, right? What about her is what about her stands out? She married Alec Baldwin, and what? Then what? Like, she faked an accent? Okay, you believe that's a real voice? Okay, sure. That means you're not really, I mean, what? Like, what would you qualify a person that would believe that's her real voice as? Stupid or naive or whatever. But then, what she does? She's popped out a lot of kids, allegedly. And what? What does she do? She's done some yoga. Sure, all right. She does exercises. She can exercise. She cooks. I mean, she can't pronounce cucumber, but she can cook it. She can cook the crap out of it. I mean, what? Like, what is it about her that you would, qualify as being something that was worthy of being a fan of?
Being our rock right now, because I don't feel so strong. Kids are sponges, and while certain conversations are not always age appropriate, we cannot deny that they don't feel the energy and pick up on certain things in the family.
You mean your dad might be going to jail? Those things? Like, well, yeah, I'm sure they are picking that up on that. That's going to be traumatic for them, but there are lots of kids out there who have a single mom or single dad who are going to jail, orphans, I mean, they're privileged. Like, this is traumatic for them, sure, Do I feel bad for them? I guess that as much as I feel bad for anybody. I mean, everyone's got to eat some boop in their life, right? But they'll get through it. Like, they're going to survive this. They have a vast support system and millions of dollars of resources.
And at home. Also, parenting little people can be stressful regardless of added stress. So today we are speaking with Dr. Hilaria Baldwin about how to take care of our children and ourselves when times are hard.
She's just about to cry.
This is Which is Anonymous. I'm Michelle Campbell Mason.
And I'm Hilaria Baldwin.
And we'd like to welcome Dr. Hilaria Baldwin.
Woo! Hilaria Baldwin. Okay. First of all, she's pronouncing her name wrong. It's not Hillary. It's Hilaria. It's Hilaria. It's not Hillary. It's Hilaria. Come on, Dr. Baldwin. Get with it.
Hi, my name is Dr. Hilaria Baldwin. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist in Beverly Hills, and I specialize.
Okay, that's, she knows how to take care of kids in Beverly Hills. She's great. Let's have her on Witches. She's a witch, and let's have her on. They're all Witches Anonymous, and they get it done. In case I didn't point this out already, it has 2 stars, less than 2 stars. It's 1 point something. I really can't see it. 1.4 stars with 1,000 ratings. Only 1,000 people rated this thing. So it shows you, this, of course, is on Apple Podcasts, so it's in other places. Here it is on iHeartRadio. There doesn't seem to be any sort of a rating system here. But, it's Hilaria. How good could it be? How much are people going to actually like it, right? That means that if 5 people, 1.4 of them like it. So that just shows you everything you need to know about Hilaria's so-called fan base. So I was searching for images that I had. There was only 4 of them. I thought there'd be more. But, to use instead of the podcasting while she was talking. And I came across this image, and I was like, oh, why is she holding up a peace sign? Then I remembered she wanted Alec to get a vasectomy. Remember this? And she did this.
Yeah, I would say hopefully we're done. But we still have to, Alex still has to go and do his part.
Boom, snip. You got to denut him. You got to denut Alec. This is great. Watch it. He's got to do his part.
Say hopefully we're done. But we still have to, Alex still has to go and do his part.
Look at her look at her face when she makes this scissors. She wants to denut this guy. I mean, she's been a disaster for Alec, right? Like, whatever's happened to Alec Baldwin, his life has got consistently worse. And now he's like this grandfather. He's in his, he's 70 or something. Some homeless, broken dude, and he's got a bunch of rugrats running around, blonde, very white blonde kids with Spanish names running around the house. This crazy woman faking a Spanish accent. And now she wants to snip his nuts. Look at it.
Alex still has to go and do his part. If he does not do his part, sometimes things can happen.
And amazingly enough, I just reviewed that episode, and that was all about Kanye going on Alex Jones and the media's reaction to it. And then there's something on Jojo Magoo, and then a few other things. That guy, the Hammer guy, he was talking about something to do with Trump. Before that, I knew about the Hammer meme. And so it was actually kind of a jam-packed show or episode. And, I didn't realize that I didn't make this into a meme because it's so great. But anyways, that's Hilaria. Alec Baldwin when he's losing Nerf wars against his kids. He's going with a shotgun shell here. Okay, so Forbes magazine has put together a supercut of Karine Jean-Pierre, and she's getting rolled up by the news media, not just Fox.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Thank you, Karine. Yeah. I want to reference an interview that President Biden did in mid-September with 60 Minutes. And in that interview, he chided former President Trump for having in his possession classified documents. He called it irresponsible. First of all, do you think it was proper for President Biden to...
Okay, so this guy is asking a question, which he's saying, which you can hear yourself, but just in case you don't understand. He's asking a question that in September, when Biden already knew he himself had classified documents at a time when he himself was doing the same thing. So what's that called again? What is it called? Anybody? Don Lemons, do you know what's it called?
The hypocrisy is off the charts, and it is sickening.
And so this is pretty brutal, right? That this, that he was hiding this from the American people and talking smack about Trump, in a similar situation. Some ways his things was worse. Some ways his things might be better. And, but either way, it's similar, very similar. They chose to hide from the American people before the election. And now, the media is not digging it.
Comment on an ongoing DOJ investigation?
So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to keep it really short today, as it relates to this particular issue, as it relates to an ongoing legal matter. I'm going to refer you to Department of Justice with that specific, as it relates to.
So that's a horrible answer, right? Now, I don't have a problem with this person because this job sucks, all of them. I make fun of them, but they're put up there to lie, right? Because it's all about lies. It's all about being a liar. Like everything they do is, spin and, some sort of disinformation, all these things. But what he asked was, how does the president feel? Or what do you think? You could just say it, you could say it this way to her, about him withholding information about the documents at the same time talking smack about Trump when he knew he was guilty of the same thing and that this story was going to come out post the election. And so the answer was like, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's all you could say. Yeah, that's hypocrisy. Yeah, that's wrong. That's all you could say. That's what you should say, but she won't. If she was a Republican, it would be the same thing. And so, these women who do this job are better than the men, I think, because, sometimes a man can be good at this job, and some women probably aren't. But, they just have to go out there and, just eat crap all day for, especially, it's not as bad for Biden as it was for Trump. But at some point, there's going to be a problem, a scandal, a misstep in the White House. And then this person has to come out, whoever does this job, and just eat crap. And it's kind of funny because, they have to deflect. But she's refusing to answer something she could easily answer. Yeah, that's effed up. You're right. That's effed up. He shouldn't have done that. But that's not her job.
Anything that you want to ask of us about this legal matter, I would refer you to the White House counsel.
But what he asked had nothing to do with the legality of it. That has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the hypocrisy of it, right? Which you could have easily commented on.
Office. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to go into further.
I'm simply asking you to comment
I
on
just
the person that you work for.
I just commented. We're moving on. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I already answered your question. Go ahead.
You really didn't.
Well, I did.
No, you didn't.
Well, it's your opinion. It's your opinion. It's your opinion. That is your opinion. Go ahead.
No, it's not. That was a non-answer. The answer you gave was a non-answer, saying that you couldn't talk about it because of legal issues, which is in itself a lie, because you could have easily answered his question. You could have said something related to the hypocrisy end of it and not the legal end.
Take another stab at it, but we don't know what's in these documents, but can the U.S. and is the U.S. working to reassure allies and partners that you can still participate in intelligence gathering and still be trusted with secrets? Are those conversations that the president is having right now, or that top of the administration officials are having, for example, Jake Sullivan in Israel?
I'm going to say this. The president takes classified information seriously. You heard.
It's important to him. He stores it next to his prize Corvette. He means as much to him as his prize Corvette. So that's all I have to say. He loves that Corvette. And he stores documents near it, so it's as protected as that Corvette, right? So, come on. He put it there. He forgot about them. Sure, he didn't know they were there. That's true. But they were in a place he cares more about that Corvette than he does his wife. Frankly, that thing's his number one thing. He doesn't want anything to happen to that thing. And so he accidentally left some documents by it. Yeah, okay, but they're, in a safe spot. That's what I'm saying. So, we can say that to the French Prime Minister, someone from Uganda, whatever. We'll tell him, look, he loves that Corvette. And, so it's okay that he left some documents there and other places. But, that's how much he cares about classified information.
That directly from him, to classify documents seriously. You heard that directly from him last week.
Okay, so he said he takes this seriously. That's enough. I mean, he's never lied to us before. Well, he has. He's a proven liar and plagiarist, a politician, lifelong politician, and kind of a creep. But I mean, if he says it, then it must be true. I mean, that's what you guys did when Trump said that, or anybody from the Republican Party. You guys just let it go. So let's just let it go, because he said he takes it seriously. I mean, the president, Jojo Magoo. He said he takes it seriously, and so that's it. We don't need to say anything more about it.
And I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to open this up for discussion. We have answered many questions as it is related to the documents. Any specifics that's related to this review.
Another thing that I haven't touched on. I've talked about how he had the documents for longer, and they were strewn about all over the place, and he was unaware of them. So that makes it worse than Trump. And he refused to, or he withheld and kept this secret before an election. And that's just really greasy. So these are all things that were worse, and they're worse also because he's the president. When Trump went through this, Trump is no longer the president. So I mean, to most people, right? And so him being a sitting president and having documents from when he was a congressman and a vice president is effed up, right? So this is long time mishandling while he is sitting in office. And, it matters in the sense that, like she said, the reporter, that foreign governments are like, oh, we can't trust this bungling old fool, leaving his documents strewn about the place.
This legal process, I would refer you to the Department of Justice, and any questions that you may have of us, I would refer you to my colleagues at the White House Counsel's Office. So I'll leave it there.
They're my questions about procedures here at the White House and not about anything specific related to the DOJ investigation.
So she's saying right now, you could totally answer my question I'm about to ask. Biatch. That's what she just said.
So I'm just wondering how this episode has prompted a review of the process in which staffers handle classified information and how they are turned over to National Archives during a transition.
And to be clear, I'm going to refer you to my colleagues at the White House Counsel's Office. They will be able to address that particular questions. I'm just not going to address something that is even related to an ongoing legal process.
Why not? I mean, I'm having a hard time understanding why questions about procedure.
And I just said to you, the White House Counsel's Office will be able to address that question.
Is President Biden satisfied with the current SOP of handling classified materials here and turning them over to National Archives?
Again, I will refer you to the White House Counsel's Office. They're the people who would be able.
Exactly. I don't know anything. They don't tell me anything. I can't answer that. I can't even answer if that failed procedure where he left stuff all over the place is going to continue. I can't even tell you they're going to do it better this time, that they're taking it more seriously, that they're actually going to have a plan and not just have classified information, stacked up on the walls and left in garages and, used as kitty litter. Like we're not going to, give it over to Hunter Biden for some reason. I don't even know, so he did such a good job before. Why would we even have to change things? Like I can't even say that we're going to change things because, I can't say anything about it.
Able to answer that question about classified information.
So just to be clear, from this point on, are you not going to be taking questions about the classified documents?
I have been very clear over and over again. We are going to be prudent here. We're going to be consistent.
Very careful. We're going to be very careful, very meticulous. All the things that led to this problem in the first place.
Particular matter is being looked at. There's a legal process currently happening at the Department of Justice, and I'm going to refer you to the Department of Justice on any specifics to
So this is how they're playing it, right? Okay, so there's this thing Jimmy Kimmel did with Trump and DeSantis. I thought it'd be interesting. I haven't seen it yet.
These accursed windmills.
We demand windmills be built on our oceans. We demand they go in our prairies, our mountains, and our plains. We're going wind. Let's kill all the birds. They're killing all our eagles and our birds. If you go out hunting and you happen to shoot a bald eagle, they put you in jail like for 5 years, right? But the windmills knock out thousands of them. Nothing happens. They kill thousands of them with these windmills. Nothing happens. And the wind turbines are all made in China.
This was what made Trump's presidency great.
Bing, boom.
He's literally Don Quixote. It's not even a metaphor anymore. He's battling windmills. Well, I guess if I had a comb over like that, I wouldn't like windmills either, but...
Boom, that's your joke? Okay. But there's something about DeSantis here.
Take away his car keys, and Trump also bragged about his dealings with the Taliban, with whom he's apparently on a first-name basis.
Abdul, the head of the Taliban, I called him. I said, Abdul, you're killing a lot of our people. Don't do it, Abdul. I said, Abdul.
This is great.
Don't
do it, Abdul.
Don't do it, Abdul. But I said, Abdul, don't do it.
50% chance he called Paula Abdul accidentally, right? Nice.
Here's the Trump. Here's the DeSantis part, I think.
And now even running ads.
The FBI guy after me for the Russia hoax, long before my election as president, was just arrested for taking money from Russia. May he rot in hell.
One of my viewers sent me this Chris Cuomo interview. It's from something called the No BS News Hour. Only 4,000 views, so this means, and I don't know if this is, I think this is their YouTube channel. So I don't know what else they do. I don't know if there's a podcast, but Cuomo isn't getting much love on YouTube. And this guy says something kind of great here.
Now, look, I've been to see it. I've been on the air there many times. It's a joyless place, Chris. I mean, it's...
CNN is a joyless place, right?
It's just an awful newsroom. And the only newsroom I've been to in my career that's worse is Morning Joe.
Kaboom! Joyless.
It is just beaten dogs, silence, crappy carpeting.
Beaten dogs. People are all, he means that the people working with the Morning Joe crew are miserable with the so-called talent.
When you were at CNN, because you can hear Cuomo now, did they put you in a partisan box? Did Zucker put you in the partisan box to pander to the silo? Far left,
No,
far
you
right?
did.
You did. It's your fault. What?
I did?
Yeah, you did. It's the people who watch. And
oh, my God. So nobody.
especially in the media, which is always a problem because your critic base is your competition, deciding that that's what I was. Because, it's subjective. So you hear and you see what you want, and you use and hear what you want. Big problem with social media is that more is not always better. And how can it be that I'm part of some lefty silo, and at the same time I had the left eating my groin on a regular basis?
What? Eating your what?
Having Trumpers on and giving them an audience and having anchors who I respected.
Just, they were eating his groin. And that's, I don't know. In better days, that would be a meme. Cuomo's has gotten sad. There's just, he's just jumped the shark. Hunter Biden allies talking about creating legal defense fund. So that's not good.
And I've been saying that this is the issue with Joe Biden's classified documents at his home, given that Hunter has become this problem for him and given the foreign entanglement. And by the way, I would just point out,
Yeah, this is what I said about Hunter. Like, he has things that are worse than Trump. Trump doesn't have a Hunter, a crackhead son that will sell anything to get crack and money and, whatever he needs.
This is why it's all the more mind-blowing that the Department of Justice in the beginning allowed Biden's own legal team to conduct the searches here, because that put them in charge of reporting back to DOJ the circumstances of those documents. Do they look like they've been riffled through? Were they in a secure...
All right, so, allies of Hunter Biden have held initial discussions about starting a legal defense fund to aid the first son as Republicans ramp up congressional investigations into his business relationships and the federal probe into his taxes continues. Hunter, we might see Hunter behind jail. That wouldn't be, he's been in treatment. And then there was this, Donald J. Trump from his, whatever he is, that thing, Truth Central. With murders and violent crimes surging like never before in New York City, the radical left Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, just leaked to the fake news media that they are still going after Stormy Horseface Daniels. BS. Bull boop. Working closely with the weaponized Justice Department, this is a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time, which is anonymous. They long ago missed the statute of limitations, and I recently won big money against Stormy in the Ninth Circuit. Never had an affair in bold. This is old news. Well, you did have an affair, right? Because you paid her off. You had your fixer paid. What? Why did you give her money? You gave her $130,000 for the affair that you didn't have, right? Why would you do that? Did you pay her off because she was going to claim you had an affair and you didn't want to, face up to that? No, you had an affair. Come on. You banged her. You banged horseface prostitute or, porn star. Like, come on. Like, enough with the lies, right, bro? That's kind of what's great about Trump, because, everybody knows he did it, and he just comes out, he puts it in bold, never had an affair. You had multiple affairs. Multiple women came forward, and it was a part of your divorces. You're a cheater. You've cheated on your wives, and you said that you could go up to women and grab them by their you-know-what when you were married to Melania. This is what you were around these women at the Miss World contests or whatever they are, women in air quotes, and you were a glommer, stop trying to be like you like that, right? It's just, own your scumbaggery. And one more thing about this, and I'm going to wrap this up. Trump is being disrespectful to his supporters, because everyone else knows he banged the porn star, and most of them do. But he expects this loyalty from them where they deny reality and will lie to themselves or whatever it is, right, when they read this stuff. And or even argue for him. Like Trump will show up, oh, no, he didn't have an affair, but it's disrespectful to them. Like, you're calling them stupid, and you're mistreating them by lying about something you obviously did, right? You're that guy. And so there's one more thing. I just got my review back from my community guidelines, which I was surprised that they held it up. Which, I was walking around and a little part of me wanted them to, to give me the strike because it's unfair and I want to slam them. So I'll be making another video about that because it's just not cool what they've done here. It's abusive and it's unfair, not just because of me, because it's just whatever. I'll explain what that is, right? I'll explain it all. It's going to be good, I think. Even possibly great. I have a plan. Anyways, only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely reporting from the Apocalypse and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.